who's been here for the longest. Giffy the God. Where you at, Giffy the God? What's up, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? Peace, peace.
Peace.
I had a lot to say, but I'm agreeing with the last two individuals that was on here. And I mean, they speaking truth. Um, I don't know. I just think Kanye, Nore, everybody is in it for money. You know what I mean? Everybody just trying to watch their bottom line. They trying to protect they interests. That's basically it. So they gonna do whatever they gotta do because, as you know, we don't, as Black people, we don't control none of these media outlets. So everybody basically work for those people, So whatever. I personally don't think like with the last call, I definitely agree that um the White Lives Matter shirts is whatever, and he ain't had no business saying nothing about George Floyd. He shouldn't have even mentioned George Floyd, how he died, or any of that. That was just straight out of pocket. But I definitely as far as those people is concerned, I want somebody to ask what did he say that was wrong. You get what I'm saying? So if they're saying that he anti-Semitic, he anti this and anti that, ask why. Why are you saying that? What did he? Even if you got to ask one of those people, you know what I mean, that call themselves that, ask them. Okay, if he anti-Semitic to you, what did he say that offended you? And that's the basic question. What did he say? Because a lot of the stuff that he's saying is factual information. You know what I mean? So other than that, and with Nore, I didn't understand why everybody was mad at Nore because like y'all journalists, right? You might be entertainers, but you switched over to the journalist field and you sit there, you interview, you ask questions, and you let people speak freely. So I understand why, what was the big outrage on Nore. And I don't like the fact that Nore plays dumb. Nore is not dumb. Nore got knowledge of self. He tell you listen to Nore, listen to the War Report, listen to after the War Report, right? When Nore went solo and got down with Pharrell, I guess that's when he, got in with the industry or whatever. That's when he started dumbing his music down. That's when he started coming with that, that that the industry stuff. I mean, trying to chase that bag. But if you go back and listen to uh the War Report, Nore had knowledge of self. Nore, he said it. And his raps weren't dumb. I mean, Nore was one of the hottest spitters out. I mean, but now he in that new light. He playing dumb, but he's far from dumb. He just that's his character. That's the character that he's playing. Because that's what's bringing him the money. But Nore know exactly what he's doing. He know exactly. They all. It's a game. You know what I mean, and they just all watching the bottom line. They all work for those people, and until we, as Black people or as whatever you want to call us, as long as until we come from up under their foot, under their neck. I mean, until we get their foot off our necks and do for self, even though I know it's damn near, I don't think it's impossible because enough of our people are millionaires and billionaires, but a lot of them are under the control of those people. That's why none of them don't ever come out and say anything that's needed in times of need. That's why they're always quiet on the main subjects. And that's why we're still in this position. So until we get from up under them, then it's gonna be like this. You're gonna have to watch what you say. You're gonna have to watch how you move and tread lightly and until you become self-sufficient.
Right. All right.
So rather than
all right, hold on a second. Don't go nowhere. Yo, Ja, what up, Ja?
Peace. Can you hear me, God?
I can hear you good, brother.
True indeed. I definitely like to give greetings to everyone in the audience in the podcast. but I like to address it on two fronts. First, Nore didn't do anything wrong from our perspective, from our viewpoint, vantage point. But to those that are in power over Nore, and to those that are in conflict with Kanye, they use Nore to put us put us back in place. They use Nore as a reminder to who we are. So while we are not Kanye, point and B is Kanye is different. He's that different type of Negro that the white man really never wanted. And what he's done is outsmarted the white man at his own game. We, being who we are not on that level of planning, execution, or success that Kanye's acquired. And I'm not just speaking financially. It's the method that Kanye has used to acquire what he's acquired, which makes his money different than other black men's money. There's other black billionaires. Robert Smith was the richest black man in America for the last 8-9 years. He's $7 billion in, but he's a real estate investor. So when we look at how he got his money is connected to white people, meaning that his money is being controlled by white people. Kanye money is different. He took a genius method of doing what white people has done to black people since we've been here. He studied them. He stole their culture. He packaged it, manufactured it, and sold it back to them like they've been doing to us forever. And because of that, he became a controlling factor of their economy because his money came from them. It don't come from us. We don't buy those Star Trek, Space Invader type clothes he be making, bro, for $2,100 for a sweater, for $3,000 for a pair of pants. We don't buy that shit. Kanye made that specifically for that market. And because he did that, he has the control of the influence of the next generation of white America economically. And while we, being economically ignorant to the process, they're using us to combat his position. And once you demonize that man's face, his name, his brand, and his character by calling him crazy, by calling him racist, by calling him anti-Semitic. How the hell are you anti-Semitic when you're a black man and the word Semitic means of the black people? The people that are claiming that he's anti-Semitic aren't Semitic themselves. It's like Joe Biden saying to us, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, you ain't black yourself, Joe. So how in the hell are you going to tell me that? But we all grasp an emotional intoxication from it. And we got emotionally drunk like we do now. And then we follow what the white man wants us to empathize with when they have never given us any empathy for anything that's ever happened because of their system of things. So when we look at the history of what's going on, Kanye West is just a reversion, like the brother said, of Michael Jackson and Prince. Michael Jackson and Prince was just a reversion of Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was killed in a hotel, accused of a white woman that he ain't never sleep with. Michael Jackson and Prince proclaimed, of course, under investigation, that they were killed, according to an additive that people, some denounce, some admit. But we know that Conrad Murray gave Michael that injection that caused his death, ultimately, just like we seen the knee on that cop neck. But as Kanye West mentioned in his research through Candace Research, what produced the documentary that Netflix signed and paid for. So when the family of George Floyd talk about suing Kanye, make sure they go sue Black Lives Matter for getting $110 million out of the blood of their relative and not receiving one dime for a damn funeral cost that Floyd Mayweather had to give $25,000 to in order for them to bury that same man that they all claiming the empathy for. See, if black people stopped getting so emotionally drunk, we probably wouldn't have a damn racist like Biden sitting there with his bed wench that's married to a Jewish man called Kamala Harris. We got to start looking at life as to what it is and what's happening. Kanye is a soldier, bro, and he's tricked the white man against his own wishes. A black man is risen to get his ass. He gave Adidas $2 billion per year. He gave Gap and 3 other corporations $1.8 billion per year revenue every year. So they can't shut him up. That's why he keeps saying they can't do nothing to me. Because what he has done is gotten the influence of their children from an economic platform. That's why he's guaranteeing that he's going to become president, because being the president is about being a CEO, not a politician. That's why he dealt with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump became a president without being a class president of high school. And that's because he had the acquisition of finance in order to manipulate his way through the business world to become president. So Kanye knows what he's doing, and Nore had to apologize because Nore belonged to someone. Nore is employed by someone. And when Nore makes a mistake, remember his words. Nore said, I was upset because they didn't give me the award that I wanted, that I deserved from the BET Awards for the #1 podcast. When he said that, he pulled the trump card. When all the other Negroes was told, do not associate yourself with the slave that got away from the plantation, Nore said, I have a friendship with him and I'm going to use him to excel my platform beyond what anyone has ever seen before. And he did it. So he gave us true journalism, but now he's paying the price for it. We all get to make our choices, but we don't get to choose our consequences. And Black America has to start being responsible so they can be accountable. If not, we're going to suffer like Nore did instead of being men like Kanye.
So, and asking this, and then I'm gonna get to somebody else, Moonchild. Where do Kanye go from here? Nore, where do Nore go from here if you was in Nore's shoes?
If I was Nore, I would first maintain silence, because right now you have to regroup your strategy and your values. One thing that Kanye is going to provide for Nore, because one thing Nore didn't do was condemn Kanye completely. Even though he apologized at certain factors, he never abandoned Kanye. He always reverberated back to the fact that we should still support Kanye, because he knows internally he believes in Kanye. And everyone that has believed in Kanye has prospered. A power move Kanye just made, which is why all of this stuff is stemming the attention. Kanye West has now acquired more than 51% of a company called Parler, which is a social media outlet for uncensored commentary. Once you have that, you can now become the new Facebook. And Kanye has the money to generate the activity around the world. The Asian market accounts for more than 42% of Kanye West's revenue. The European market follows. So we're not making Kanye rich. And the white people in America know that. So one of the slaves got away, my brother. Nore needs to sit, stand pat, and then allow Kanye's activity of business to build, and then become a part of that new media market. And that way you'll get payment for your sacrifice, my brother. If not, you'll be a victim of your own ignorance and cowardice. And that's what the white man wants you to do. Nore is an example of himself. He's an example for us and our children, that when we step out of the boundaries and help one that's fighting against them, what will happen to us? We're not to follow his example, neither do we crucify Nore. We just tell our brother, be in silence, because that's the best support you can give when you can't be physical in your support.
Thank you, Ja. Appreciate you, man.
Peace.
Stay there, River. Stay there. Don't go nowhere. Moonchild, what's up?
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Brother John, everything you said was 100% correct. I noticed Kanye was playing against the system when he came out with that clothing line, because looking at those clothes, they look like slave clothes. And then I just started to study him just a little bit more, just to see what he was doing. But I just have to be honest. I don't trust Kanye. I understand everything that he's doing, but I don't trust him. And that's because it's a lot of things that he does and a lot of things that he says just seems to be contradictory to me. As far as Nore, they will ruin Nore. They will ruin him. I think, just like Brother John said, he has to sit in silence and re-strategize and figure out what's going to be his next move. His next move is, as long as he wants to keep the platform celebrating legends in hip hop and celebrating the culture, but he has to do it within the confines of what their permission is going to be. And that's going to be hard. But just like he said, things are definitely going to change. And freedom of speech is not free. And he realized that today more than any time ever in his life. And that's all I have to say about it. Honestly, I really don't trust Kanye. I believe everything that he says, and I know what he's saying is right. I work for the state. I work for the state. And I know how America set up the Jewish community. It's unbelievable the way how America set them up. They are set up lovely, such in a way that we could never understand. And I realize that so much now, but I don't trust Kanye. I'm sorry, I don't. I can't be 100% behind him. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, sister. I appreciate you. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I'm gonna let W Media go ahead. You got 2 minutes. Take it off mute. WMSAC Media.
Oh, what's good, Choke?
What's
Hey, I
good?
just want to say, hey, Job, man, what you said was very perspective, man. That was dope, man. I just salute to everybody, man. I'm just listening, taking it all in. So what I could, whenever I do get a chance to finish the interview, if ever pop up, man, so I can add some more to it, man. Peace to everybody, y'all.
All right, brother. Peace to you, man. All right, let me go to Stacy. Any last words? You got 2 to 5 minutes. Go ahead.
No, brother, I'm just taking it all in. That young lady, she made some valid points. That's all. That was really good what she said about Kanye. I don't trust him either. For the very same reason why somebody said before, like, he's all over the place. You can't pin him down. I can't listen, Choke. I can't put my money and sacrifice myself based on someone who, and I respect what the other brother was saying about Kanye. You know, I was listening to him and he made some really valid points, but I can't put everything on the line for someone who is just, white lives matter one moment and the next minute on some other vein. That's not fair. That's not fair to ask for somebody to do that.
All right. Well, thank you, sister. I appreciate you. Please come back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your views on this.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good night. My man Jay. Hold on, let me get my man Jay back in here. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing real quick. I ain't gonna be too long or nothing like that. But what the brother John said, he said some real stuff. And I agree a lot with what he said, because Kanye West is a genius. And I don't want to elaborate on that too much, because trust me, you said some stuff. You said it all. But one thing I just want to say about with Nore, how I really feel like with the interview, I feel like he didn't challenge Kanye at all in the interview. I feel like that was the Kanye West show, literally. Like Nore Word didn't have no power like the whole interview. At the end, he tried to get serious, but it was Kanye West already, his aura already like was too big on this show for his words to even mean anything. Like, and I feel like if he would have challenged Kanye West a little bit more, and even if Kanye West would have walked off his show, then I feel like he could have said, it would have been a better look on him to say, oh, well, I didn't agree with him, whatever like that. But you didn't challenge nothing that man was saying at all, that you was in agreement with him. that you was not in agreement with. You didn't challenge him at all in the interview. So, it's great. I feel like Kanye West took the interview and he ran with it. And I just wanted to put that in the air.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Make sure you come back, man.
Yeah, always, man.
All right,
So
man.
no joke.
My guy, BK, all day.
Yeah, already.
What? All right, let me go to virtual man cave. Okay, wrap yours up.
Yeah, I think as far as Nore, he gonna be good. He's already down with the. He signed them papers. He's gonna do whatever he gotta do to collect that bag. So he'll be all right. And I don't know, as far as Kanye, it's like, yeah, my issue with Nore was, like dude just said, like, yeah, Kanye says some valid things. My whole thing is we've heard them things before. It's not nothing new. But he also said some, we can all agree, retarded, bogus ass shit. And the issue is, niggas just sat there key and high with him. Like, the minute, you don't gotta be a journalist or nothing, and then Nore wouldn't be on an apology tour right now if, for example, Kanye goes, yeah, his knee wasn't on his neck like that. Yo, as a man, it's like, yo, bro, you're bugging. I saw it. The autopsy factually says he ain't died because of fentanyl. Like, why wouldn't you, you know what I'm saying? You do that, you're not on an apology tour right now. On top of the fact that the show has a disclaimer that Kanye views are not Drink Champ views. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's the issue. Like, you could have rebutted a lot of things. And then the thing with Kanye is my last point. It's like, they used him when we say, oh, I'm the next Ralph Lauren, he's the next this, he's the next that. They made him that because, like dude said, John Muhammad, right? Some of the things I'm gonna rebut, he goes, he got this deal with Gap and this and that. See, they told us that so much, we regurgitated because, like, Sway told him 8 years ago, bro, especially now, you're a billionaire. Why are you so thirsty for these Jews' acceptance, man? Like, you a billionaire, bro. So you already told us they doing this, they doing that. Why you ain't making your own blueprint? You supposedly a bit, and that's the thing. He was a pawn for them. So he's even used to regurgitating, because if you really look at the factual things, he didn't make that billion for Gap. He didn't make that billion so that's why he's, expendable to them now, because he's talking crazy. And who got them Gap clothes? Them white folks ain't even rocking with them Gap clothes. So it was projected for him to do this billion shit. I'm one of the few that would question, is he really a billionaire? They like people like Kanye to have these statuses, and they'll force feed us information that we won't go factually check because it's Kanye. And we want to cheer for Kanye. We want him to be a billionaire. We want him to do this. But at the end of the day, billionaires don't beg for them folks' acceptance. And he went from being thirsty for that white acceptance to being in the game and understanding, okay, I care about only this entertainment shit. So they run this part. So now he in the campaign for their acceptance. It ain't about the black issues, that he ties our issues into, but he don't give a fuck about us, because if Nike right now put him in the creative board, because that's his whole issue at the end of the day, if he was on the creative board to make decisions on how sneakers is made, he won't be on this rant no more. He won't be caring about his kids being fake kidnapped to put them in his cult down to school. Like, these issues won't be an issue if them Jewish folks accepted him like he wanted them to accept him. Like, but since they don't, then he just playing with our strings, like how Trump did with them poor white folks. And yeah, we. Nah, it's we until I get into that seat, and then I don't give a fuck no more, like how it was before. I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. Come back again, man. You always welcome, man. All right. Well, love. All right, let me go to my man North Star real quick.
All right, am I on? Can you hear me? All right, so there was some things that were said that by different people, and I'm kind of going to mix them all up. So I'm gonna try to point out what different people said. First things first. the guy that just got off here, virtual man cave, right? Um, look, when Kanye had the interview with Sway, Sway said, "Why don't you do your own thing?" Kanye was, I don't know, in debt at the time, right? And he was frustrated, and he was expressing his frustrations then, and he didn't have the answer. He said that he has to learn how they do these things in order for him to do it. He didn't have the ability or the knowledge to do it, right? And he was in debt at the time. So let's acknowledge that part. All right. The other thing is about what he's saying, that Kanye don't care, wouldn't care, and this is a respectful thing. I'm not trying to like bash him or nothing, but he's said a few things that's off. Okay, let's acknowledge that his father, Kanye's father, is an ex Black Panther, and he said that many times. Right, his mom was very pro Black, so Kanye is extremely pro Black. Okay, he even said on the Drink Champs, this last interview, he said, when I get in office, he said, I'm gonna make sure I do stuff specifically for my people. He said that out of his own mouth. Let's acknowledge another thing. Okay. The guy that was on here that spoke earlier, that said he was from Chicago, and he said, "Man, I'm from Chicago, and we ain't really like rocking with everything Kanye said." Okay, Kanye has many times mentioned Larry Hoover, and talked about the GDs, right? Which is a Chicago gang that is at one time was the biggest gang in the entire
Kanye gives a
world.
fuck about his backyard.
Okay, so let me finish, please. All right. So let's acknowledge the fact that Kanye is one of the few people who not only acknowledged Larry Hoover because of the free campaign, but also stated on Drink Champs, he said, "Listen, I wouldn't be Kanye right now. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the GDs." That is huge acknowledgement to Chicago, besides him just saying he's from Chicago. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I know about that culture from there because Gary's 35 minutes away from Chicago. Okay. GD is a big gang, was once a big gang out there in my area. So I know exactly what he's talking about. He said that GDs is the reason why I'm the Kanye West I am today. Without them, I wouldn't have survived in Chicago. He said that. Okay. So I understand that people are upset about what Kanye is saying and his rhetoric about George Floyd and all that. But if you listen to what Kanye actually says and get out of your feelings, then you will see exactly where he's going and what he's doing. And here's another thing. He bounces all over the place for a reason, because he has a whole lot of stuff he wants to get out. He's trying to tell y'all, and you just need to keep up with what he's saying. He says stuff like, "I'm a genius," this, that, and the third, blah, 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 Ruffalo, and he mentions all these names of people. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like if you take a story of a book and you got all the chapters separated, right? Or all the pages separated, and you take it and you just throw it up in the air, and now you got to take all the pages and then you got to put them in the right chronological order, right? That's Kanye. That's how his brain is. But when you listen to what he actually says, he always sticks to the same message. He's always been saying the same thing, and he says the same things that he's been saying in his music since the beginning of his career. He's been saying the same thing. So Kanye ain't said nothing different than what he thinks or believes. Okay. And with this whole White Lives Matter, people getting bent out of shape about that, it's a statement. That was the whole point of the shirt. That's what he's talking about. He's saying, listen, I did this for a reason. I had Candace on for a reason. And if you don't really realize, he said, I used Candace to make a statement because y'all will get bent out of shape for the fact that I had Candace with me in the most liberal setting that there is in that fashion world. And I had a White Lives Matter shirt on because I wanted to upset y'all, to get y'all to pay attention what the fuck is going on. All right. Now, here's another thing that I want to address, and this will be the last thing, okay, about his money. All right. How many rich people that's on Kanye's level, billions Because we talking about Oprah, we talking about Tyler Perry, we talking about all the billionaires and multimillionaires, right? How many of them say anything remotely close to what Kanye is saying? They'll touch on those subjects, but it'll be very light. They'll touch on those subjects, but it'll be very politically correct. But they will not say it straight out and be straightforward and say, hey, this is what it is, this is that, blah, 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 bam, 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 connecting the dots, and then also call out their constituents or the ones that they in business with. And that's what Kanye is doing. So how many people got the balls to do that? Kanye. Because ain't nobody else doing that. Everybody want to, nitpick about all his words and what he's saying, but hey, he's telling you what it is. And he's really putting himself out there. So you wanna say, oh, Kanye ain't this and Kanye ain't that, but he put himself out there. Because how many of you got a regular job right now and won't even say shit to your boss because you being politically correct? And knowing that your ass will lose your job or they'll take hours away from you because you scared to speak up. And that's what he's doing. And this dude is a multi-billionaire. He just told you the banks is shutting his accounts down. And he's still talking shit. So how many people gonna do that? That's all I'm saying. So don't be picking on Kanye trying to make it seem like he's some coon or chump or something like that. Like, this dude is for real. He's been raised by very pro-black parents. So don't think that he's doing this as some sort of like ploy and being a black white man. This dude is doing this as a strategy because he told you on Drink Champs when he talked about Kim and he said, you know what Kim did when she was trying to get the kid out
Gunner.
of jail, huh?
Gunner.
No, the other dude. Yeah, ASAP Rocky. He said Trump did it for me, but they did it for points as a strategy. He said, you know what? He said, between me and Kim, he said, she needs more genuineness. I need more strategy. I just want y'all to just pay attention to what he's saying and get out your feelings and really listen to what he's saying. I know he jumps around, but pay attention to what he is saying, and then you will realize, like, damn, Kanye is really on something. And for those two ladies who said that they don't trust Kanye, I don't blame you for that. It is very hard to want to lock down on him, but you got to really pay attention to what's going on. I think Kanye is very trustworthy. I just think that because he's so misunderstood, that y'all are scared to be on his side because you think that he's going to pull some kind of move to dupe us when he's not duping us. He's telling us to our face, and he's talking not just to
I
us, but he's
concur.
talking to them. He's talking to them. He's talking to them. And he's challenging us to wake the fuck up and stand up for ourselves and stand with him for ourselves. That's what he's doing.
Okay, brother. I appreciate you. I'm gonna let Ja go and then Nina after that. All right. You can stick around, brother. Ja, what up?
Peace. I definitely concur with North Star. I agree with the brother earlier, just like I agree with Nina's build as well. I would like to first, once again, address it from two different perspectives or two different fronts. First and foremost, we can't fall into the same activity of Willie Lynch's first characteristic of his first philosophy, which is distrust. Because Kanye is one person that, if we just study his history, has never lied to us. When he made College Dropout and Graduation Day, he told us certain things in his music that has now come to pass. Just like the song, wait till I get my money right. See, everything that he said, everything he envisioned has come to pass. So when we look at his plan and his agenda, we have to address not what people are presenting to us, because those very same people are like Nore. Those very same people that are presenting Kanye's so-called persona or mindset to us are those very same people that are up under the subjugation of the people that control Nore and those people alike. So Kanye West is having billionaire wars, bro. And we're just thousandaires, and some of us are millionaires looking at the activity of a billionaire's war. It's a global activity that's happening right now, man. Kanye West is a global conglomerate. He's not your local convenience store. He's not your local pharmacy. He's a global conglomerate. And it's hard for Black people to get that through their heads or make them understand that, like the brother Virtual that stated a falsehood about Kanye's money. If Kanye didn't have control of his money, then we wouldn't have this problem with Kanye, and he wouldn't be able to have a platform of war that he's waged on the powers that be. If you notice how people such as North Star said, Oprah, Tyler Perry, see, there's only 15 Black billionaires ranked in the top 150 in the world. Kanye West ranks in the top 7. So we got to understand what type of power we're dealing with and what type of war we're looking at. No, the brother does have that finance. He pulled out his binoculars. He studied white people culture. He found out what they like to eat, drink, talk, wear, and he manufactured it and sold it back to them. We don't buy it. He actually made a deal with Gap. He's not an employee of Gap. When you sign a partnership deal in business, you're not an employee of your partner. You are an equal of your partner in authority, whether or not you're the equal in shares. You still sit on what they call the board of chairmen, which manipulates and directs the business activity for the shareholders. So when you're on that board, you are an owner. You're not some guy that comes in and serves coffee and tea. That's Nore and them job. And Black people are so affixed to being that Butler syndrome that we begin looking at Black men that are successful as being white men, when in reality, we're just white people in Black skin that can't stand to see somebody really Black unapologetically do what they wish they could or would have done. Kanye West has bucked the trend. He's at war right now with the powers that be, the same people that's influenced us to act and conduct ourselves in the way we're acting and conduct ourselves. The same people all these niggas is talking shit. They ain't got no war against drill music or the shit that's influencing our babies to either have a gender dysfunction out in our society or have a criminalistic nature that causes these murderous results. I believe in this. Fuck what a man is always saying, bro. I believe in a man's results. And results talk way more, as people say, actions speak louder than what? Words. So if we don't understand what Kanye's saying, why don't we just be unapologetically Black and be Black first and then look at the results of what Kanye is doing? And that way, we're a better aid to ourselves by being in support of him in silence rather than being an agent against him by our enemy. Fact of the matter is, all Black people have one thing in common. That's Black pain. I don't care if you live in LA. I don't care if you live in New York. I don't care if you live in Chicago or Miami. We all experience the same shit in America and throughout the world, and that's Black pain. When will we unify, bro, in every community and just be unapologetically Black as a national culture? When we do that, we ain't got to worry about this other shit. Because if we were, then we would stand behind Kanye. Like I told my son, if you didn't vote for Kanye when he ran for president in 2020, like I did, then bro, I don't want to hear you talking about Kanye embarrassed us and we. Because if you wasn't with him, how in the hell is he with you? And if he ain't with you, how is he embarrassing us? We got to be responsible to be held accountable, bro. And Negroes got to stop ignoring accountability and start being responsible. Peace.
I appreciate you, Ja. Preach. Nigga, drop the robe, drop the mic. Now,
I love my family. Peace. I love my family, bro. Yeah, man, and I'm just tired of us crucifying. We doing the same thing to Kanye that the same Jewish people did to Jesus. If we prayed, they praised Jesus on Wednesday. Hosanna, Hosanna, praise thee, my Lord. All of a sudden, a new bulletin came out, and that lie that they call news. If it's news, how is it edited? If it's news, how is it a medium? The only way it's news is that I'm there witnessing with you. So we have both of our perspectives of something that actually happened. So they told the people that Jesus was bad. By Friday, niggas was saying crucify him. And we dealing with the same thing right now. They're using us to condemn and kill our brother like they did Martin, bro. Like they did Malcolm, like they did Medgar Evers. You feel me? And Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King said, I'll say in closing, if black people would have not taken the influence of the white media when they posted our stay at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's house in Chicago, we would have never been at the Remain Hotel in Memphis. We would have been with the Deacons of Defense at someone's house. But for 18 months, black people abandoned Martin Luther King when white people told them to, and when Martin Luther King turned our focus towards hurting white people economically, damaging their money. And Kanye West is at a war financially as well as socially, and the white man is trying to use us to kill him and teach us the revised lesson of staying in our place as a slave. So I implore our people, let's support our brother, defend our brother. If we don't do it physically and in our words, please let's just do it in silence. Unapologetically black first. Peace.
Thank you, Ja. I appreciate you, brother.
Let him talk some more.
I appreciate my brothers. Choke. I've been following my brother Choke after another brother on the podcast put me on to you dealing with the Marquis situation with 50. Oh. I've been in the music industry for 28 years now, and I have a direct relationship with these brothers. And I had a little debate with Whack 100 because, see, I'm 52 years old, bro. I've been in the industry. I was a road manager for Def Jam and then an A&R road manager with Bad Boy. So I've been knowing a lot of these dudes right now that's grown, influencing a lot of the youth in our industry to be on that bullshit rather than being on what hip hop is. They want them on what rap music is, which is the white man's commercialized version of hip hop. Hip hop was our crying voice to the world, bro, about what white people was doing to us when nobody would listen to us. That's why it was called hip, means to be aware. Hop is a forward advancement of movement. So when you're aware, you're conscious forward movement, which is hip hop. That's what it was made for. And we have 5 elements that represented how we lived. And that's your culture. Our problem is we put down hip hop and we picked up the commercialized activity of it, which is called rap music or the rap industry. And that's based on sex, money, and drugs. And that just leads to murder, greed, and dysfunction. So here we are. And I'm trying to just reach out to my brothers and my sisters and build with them so we can share. I can learn from Nina, like North Star, like you, Choke, and then I can regurgitate what you tell me with my own understanding to the world, and y'all can do the same, and we can all function on the same mind. That's how we create communities, which is common unity. And that's what we need.
Yeah, well, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man, so much, man.
Let him speak some more.
Always come back, man. Let me get Nina on here because she yawning.
Yes, I want to hear my sister Bill.
You gotta
like
get
North
the
Star.
princess to bed. Nina, what's up?
Bill, my brother, Bill.
Don't even think that I'm yawning because I'm bored or tired. I had work and class today, so yeah. But I actually took a couple notes so I can just get on and get out and let the next person speak. Wow, and the last brother that was talking, woo! Wow. I feel like an offering needs to be passed, okay? But
yeah, take us to church, cuz.
He took us to church. Okay, no, but apparently the disclaimer. Oh, if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I told you I took some notes while he was talking so I could just get on and get off. Okay, so apparently the disclaimer on Drink Champs that someone mentioned regarding Ye's views,
the joke looked like Spike Lee.
Their views was not enough because Nore is still being forced to disassociate with Ye. Also, Diddy had to approve the Kanye interview before the interview. So I think that it's interesting that they would invite him on, knowing the type of time that he's on. Ye is on a truth tour and is not holding back. So why invite him to disown him and delete the interview? Also, Nore tried to protect himself.
Wait. Hold on. That's the disclaimer?
Well, someone mentioned earlier that they had some type of disclaimer.
No, they did. I seen it, but that's it. You reading it?
Shouts out to Animal.
I'm reading what I wrote because I took some notes. So I'm reading what I wrote. I'm just reading my own thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah. So yeah, Nore tried to protect himself in the interest of the show by repeatedly saying that they love the Jews, but yet he still got chastised by the higher ups. Because somebody earlier mentioned that you know, Nore, he wasn't challenging Ye, but I have to agree with that. I do agree that he wasn't challenging Ye. And I gotta be honest, I understand it's drink champs, but bruh, I mean, they gotta kind of like, he was drinking a little bit too much. I'm just gonna say it. Like, it got to the point where he got faded, and it's like, bruh, like, no judgments here, but like, I feel like it kind of affected his interview skills. I feel like it was cool in a way, like the vibe, it kind of felt like, you know, just homies, you know, at the house. Maybe they just played some spades, you know, maybe they've been drinking and chilling and they just talking. But on the flip side, it's almost like he got a little too intoxicated, and it got a little inarticulate at some point. Like at the end, he was kind of like mumbling. And it's like, I love Nore, because Nore, he's a legend, he's a GOAT, like, no disrespect. But you know, I know it's drink champs, but you gotta kind of like ease up on the shots. Because I don't know if anybody noticed this, like, Gabe was not actually drinking most of the time. He was like not taking shots because he still wanted to like maintain his train of thought and be sober minded during the interview. But let me go back to my notes. See, that's why I wrote notes, because I didn't want to get sidetracked. Oh, also, and as far as him bouncing around a lot, I believe that a lot of that was due to him constantly being interrupted. So it would make him lose his train of thought. Either that, or it's due to him just being a genius and having so much information to get out. Because I feel like geniuses, their brain is just in a million different places, and they're just trying to get all this information out. So also, Kanye stated many times that he's not afraid to die, which is actually what makes me trust him more, in my opinion, because he has literally put everything on the line. What does he have to gain? He has everything to lose. And I don't know if anybody saw this. He just posted like this little this video where it had different clips of him in meetings and like this little video game at the beginning. If anybody hasn't seen it, like, I definitely suggest you look for it. I think I've seen it on YouTube. And so at the beginning, like, it was him like a video game character. And it had him, they said, like, you have to get the dub. So North Star, you seen it, because I saw you shaking your head. And you know, that's one thing I love about art, because it's up to your interpretation, right? I kind of felt like the dove was a representative of like the Holy Spirit or like God. Like, he's just saying, look, I'm trying to chase the truth or chase the Holy Spirit, and you know, at whatever cost it takes. I kind of feel like he has some kind of conversion. I feel like he has some type of spiritual conversion, and it's just like it gave him this kind of boldness, like that ready to die boldness. And you know, like when you're in this industry, and like I'm in the industry, I'm not in the industry. When you're in that, yes, that's actually the next thing I'm gonna bring up. That's in my notes. Yes, spiritual warfare. So one thing that I'm loving, right? Everybody knows that we're in the age of awakening right now. We're in the age of awakening where the truth is coming out. Everything that's hidden is being uncovered. Everything that's in the dark is being brought to light. And, you know, I feel like chess pieces are being moved around. And, you know, it's so many things I want to say. And just like you said, North Star, I'll be honest. I work a corporate job. So I'm going to be completely transparent. There, and I also have a podcast, which I won't plug because people are trolls. Is that it? That might be it. I can't really. Yeah, that's it. And I really love that